Hello YouTube, it is Atticus. How's everybody doing? I am well. I am back with you with another Dark Elf vs. Skaven game. And yeah, just wanted to show you guys another build with how to deal with the new DLC units of the Skaven. So yeah, I've done a couple for the Lizardmen, so this is a second idea, a second build that you could take that I've tested that works good against yeah, the Skaven. So we'll go ahead and jump to the match, guys, and I'll show you who I brought. So for my Lord, we are going with Lokir Felheart. So I really think it's important to go cheap on your Lord. I know a lot of the other casters and some of the, the pros say like, going like a Malekith on a Black Dragon and something like that is viable, and he is. I mean, I have tested it. Like I brought Malekith on a Chariot, and it is one way you could do it. But I kind of find having a small Lord means he's not going to get sniped by any artillery. He's not going to get sniped by any what are those Giselles, Warplock Giselles? He's not going to get the bone teeth breakers or any of those. The point being is your opponent a lot of times will overcompensate with a lot of artillery, a lot of shooting range units trying to snipe your Lord, and if you take that away from them, then yeah, it kind of just makes them waste that money. Same with your army, guys. You don't really want to go very elite with your army. You want to kind of just go mass, cheap units that once again, we'll just make all his range units that he takes be worthless. So for my infantry corps, like I said, I have Lokir. For my front line guys, we just have some Dread Spears. And yeah, these guys are just going to be the initial shock absorber of the approach. They're going to be taking all the artillery in the face. They're going to be taking the Warplock Giselles shots. And yeah, and they'll also be really good at, countering out Rat Ogres and things like that once the battle does start. You can see that I also have 2 units of Reaper Bolt Throwers, and these guys are a really good answer if you expect artillery. Bring these and then just focus fire his artillery piece, because what it's going to do is going to force your opponent to either have to shoot your army or shoot your Reaper Bolt Thrower, and these things are just not made for shooting other artillery pieces. So the Skaven need to do a lot of damage on the approach here. That's how they kind of even out the engagement. So if on the whole approach, if they're sitting here shooting your artillery piece, well then yeah, your army is going to be at pretty full health and you're going to have a really good advantage. So yeah, I'm going with 2 Reaper Bolt Throwers. You can see I also have an Assassin. So yeah, with the new DLC, the latest patch, the Assassin got damaged missile now, poison missile damage, poison melee, and he has Vanguard deployment. So I like to put a Assassin up in the front just to try to bait out some artillery shots or some shots from these rattling guns and things like that. Like, he has a lot of life, so he'll be able to stay alive for a while. Once again, the idea is just to waste ammunition and just distract your opponent. For my secondary line guys, I do have the Sisters of Singing Doom, and I obviously bring them for the terror. When the front lines do collide, you want something that's going to be able to get the mass route, and that's what the Sisters of Singing Doom are good for. Also, we have 2 units of Black Ark Corsairs, and yeah, these guys are going to be the cleanup duty. So once my initial Dread Spears hit, the Black Ark Corsairs will be doing the majority of the damage. Also, guys, you can see we've brought in 2 units of Dark Shards, and one of them being the Regent of Renown Bolt Fiends. So yeah, these guys have multi-tools. I mean, they have shield breakers, so they could be really good against Storm Vermin. Since I don't have a lot of armor piercing, these guys could kind of even it out. Good against Rat Ogres, good against altars, pretty much anything. I feel like the Bolt Fiends are a pretty good pick in this matchup. We also have 2 units of Cold One Knights here, but we're going to be really patient with these guys. We're not going to send them in with the main army because they'll obviously get sniped. So you just want to have them off on the side, doing their own thing. You want them outside the range of artillery. You can see I'm using like this little tree right here, this little whatever this is, cave here, to kind of screen out for my units. And I'm going to be using them in the the end game. So yeah, that's my build, guys, and I also have 1 Dark Rider repeater crossbow, and yeah, we're just gonna be seeing what opportunities I can use these guys with. Are we gonna be luring out Rat Ogres? Are we gonna be trying to get into an artillery piece? Are we gonna be shooting Storm Vermin with halberds? Yeah, these guys are just kind of like my wild card pick. So all right, this is a Skaven DLC killing build. So let's go ahead and look at this Skaven DLC build. So my opponent did bring the mighty Ikit Claw. He has him on foot, and yeah, Ikit Claw is going to be really good being on foot. He's not going to get sniped by bolt throwers. He's going to be able to do his flame attacks. And yeah, he has some pretty good spells too. So he has like Whirling Hop Gale. He has the one that does Cloak. And he has a few other ones. I don't have all the Skaven spells memorized. A front line of Rattling Gunners. So yeah, this is really cool. Really powerful units. They have their suppression mechanic. They'll be able to slow my troops on the approach. Thankfully though, my front line does have shields. And these guys don't really do that much damage until you get to right about here. Once you get right about here, these guys will shred you in seconds. My opponent also has some Clan Rat with shields in his secondary line. He has some Storm Vermin, some Clan Rats with spears. Then he has 2 units of Rat Ogres. He has 2 artillery pieces, one being Ikith Zap, so this is going to be the one doing the ability recharge, which is not really going to affect me with Lokir. He doesn't really have any abilities. And then we have 2 units of Warplock Giselles, guys, so a lot of range units. And if you're fighting Skaven, plan on your opponent going a lot of range units, especially, it's a little bit of mind games. With the new DLC being out, most people are going to want to try the new units, so obviously bring things that counter range units. Like this right here, bringing a ranged army is not the approach that you'd want to take. You'd want to go Storm Vermin, you'd want to go Plague Cult Catapults, you'd want to go Doom Wheels and things like that. But, people sometimes can be predictable, I guess. So yeah, that's my opponent's build, guys. Just go ahead and start the match, and yeah, we'll see how this goes. So right off the bat, as the Mustang said to the Dodge Charger, we're going to start coming up on the approach here, guys. We're going to start getting the Reaper Bolt Throwers. I saw that I was in range of his Rattling Guns, and I figured, why not do a little damage to these guys? Kind of freak my opponent out, cause him to have to send these guys back. You can see that the artillery pieces for the Skaven are going to return in kind, but yeah, these guys are just not accurate. They're not good at trading against other artillery pieces, like I said in the beginning of the match. And you can see this is not doing a lot of damage to them, but it's forcing them back. It's going to, keep those guys out of position and allow me on my approach to not really have to deal with those guys. You can see I am sending the assassin up above. We're going to see if we can get a little bit early missile damage. These guys do have 800 missile damage, so anything with low armor is going to take a lot of damage. Another good thing about the Reaper Bolt Throwers, when your opponent does pull them back, you're going to get a lot of splash damage. Excuse me. You can see that I was hoping my opponent wasn't paying attention. He doesn't have anything protecting his back line. And even though these guys aren't meant to get in, in melee, if he's not paying attention and I could get a good 20 seconds of attacking, I can possibly break these guys. And you can see I am going to get a nice charge into these guys. Now, too bad it's not Doomfire Warlocks or something like that, because I could instantly just collapse this whole back line. And, yeah, we'd be set. And you can see it's not doing that much damage. But, yeah, still, it's going to, pay for us in the late game. You can see we're still getting some bolt thrower shots into these Rattling Guns, but they're not taking any damage. I'm just trying to keep him busy, hoping that he wasn't paying attention. Yeah, finally he is going to respond. He is going to see that, my Ikith Zap's under attack, and he's going to send the Rat Ogres. I do decide to keep my Dark Riders in battle right here. I was hoping maybe I could break them before they leadership routed, but unfortunately, this ain't the case. You can see that my assassin now is getting in position. He is going to start getting shot at by the Warplock Giselles, but yeah, better shoot the assassin than my army, I imagine. You can see this whole game, my opponent is just trying to shoot down these Reaper Bolt Throwers, which has meant that he's not been shooting my front line. So I have a full health, pretty much army that's, going to be able to deal with these low leadership, low health units of the Skaven. You can see now my assassin is taking a little bit of damage, but he was absorbing so much of that ammunition, so much of that shot. It's keeping those guys busy. You can see my opponent is going to try to get a Scorch right here. I think it's a Scorch. Yeah, but he is going to miss. He kind of timed it out wrong, thankfully for me. You can see that these Rat Ogres now are in the back, but once my Dark Riders do come back, nope, I take that back. I thought they did come back. So yeah, he is going to have backline supremacy, but look what I have in reserve here, guys. So as soon as my army collides, I will have these guys here to be able to deal with those Rat Ogres. You can see I have this Reaper Bolt Thrower. I'm going to switch it to start shooting at the artillery piece, I do believe. And yeah, our front lines are getting ready to collide now, guys. So yeah, it's going to look really good for us. You can see I am going to try to get the Sisters of Singing Doom in through this middle pocket. If I could get them in the back, I'd get that easy terror route. But since these are only Clan Rats, they're not going to last very long. You can see the Bolt Throwers are shooting the Rat Ogres now, guys. And yeah, this is really good value for me. It's going to take a lot of damage for these guys. And you can see his Rattling Gunners are going to get obstructed, even though Ikith Claw is going to get a nice Warp Lightning. But yeah, we're in the back line now, guys. You can see the Warplock Giselles are starting to shoot. But yeah, you really need to shoot those guys from afar. Once I'm in your face with my units, it's not going to really do, it's not going to be that much effective. You can see now I'm choosing the strike with my Cold Wind Knights. You want to send them around the back. He has one unit of, let's go and slow it down here. He has one unit of Rat Ogres here who's going to be providing a little bit of interference. So if I send one Cold Wind Knight here to deal with them and the other one around here, I can get into his back. into his artillery pieces. All across the front lines, guys, he only has clan rats and things like that who are holding. The Black Orc Corsairs are going to shred through these guys, even though he does have these storm vermin coming through the center who are going to be able to reinforce and keep that line busy. And you can see Lokir's in the mix right here. He's going to be buffing up the line there. He's going to be giving some leadership, and he will chew through them pretty effectively. But look how quickly, guys, we've shredded through this, this right flank right here with the support of the Bolt Fiends and the Dark Shards. We're just absolutely just shredding through this, and this is really good for me because now I have a scary force of Witch Elves, Black Orc Corsairs, and Dread Spears who could get into the back, get into those Warplock Giselles and Rattling Gunners and those artillery pieces. And you can see this whole game, he's still shooting at the bolt throwers. So, yeah, I mean, 1,000-something points to shut down a $600, $700 bolt thrower is a good value in my eyes. You can see that the Cold One Knights are going to charge into the Rat Ogres. So, yeah, we're going to have them taken care of. And just like I said, guys, we're coming around the side with these Cold One Knights, and we'll hopefully be able to keep them busy. You can see all across the line right here, Ikka is going to get one of his lightning spells. But, yeah, guys, we just have so many troops. You can see that the Bolt Fiends now are shooting at the Ikka Zap. And, yeah, same with right here. I do have some Dread Spears to catch these Rat Ogres out of position. I got Sisters of Singing Doom shutting down that artillery piece. And I'm going to send these Black Orc Corsairs here to try to get into these Warplock Giselles. And look how easily we chew through those Rat Ogres, guys. So now we're in his back line. We're into the other artillery piece. We're into these Warplock Giselles. And we have full, pretty much a full surround on my opponent. You can see these Dark Shards right here are shooting into Ikka Claw. He really needs to get him into combat. I know he's a spellcaster, but he has pretty good combat stats. And you'd be surprised how good he could do. My opponent's going to get another Warp Lightning here on this big glob of Dark Elf units, which is good. I mean, that's exactly how you want to do it. But yeah, his whole back line now has collided. We've shut down all his range units. We've shut down all his Rat Ogres. And you can see the Bolt Fiends have just been really good, assisting with that, shooting the Rat Ogres, shooting the Storm Vermin, Clan Rats, anything. With their Shield Breaker, pretty much means that anything's going to take damage. And you can see Lokir's been in the whole mix, guys. He's really good at chewing through infantry units, and it's really powerful for us. You can see my opponent is going to get a Scorch right here, but I kind of think that spell's a little bit underwhelming. It doesn't really do that much damage. You can see the Bolt Fiends are shooting into the back, and we're going to get a leadership route for the Skaven and a victory for the Druchii. So, yeah, that's kind of textbook how to deal with the new DLC units, specifically a range unit. I do have another one, which is a Beast Sorceress with Manticore build, which I'll show in the next one. But, yeah, this one's a kind of a reliable one. This is kind of a safe pick one, I would say. You don't have to worry about your Lord, and you have a lot of troops. You can match the Skaven, and yeah, the bolt throwers are always going to be like your insurance policy. So, yeah, one of the keys for success, guys, was the bolt throwers. He wasted all this money to have these artillery pieces, and the whole game, all they did was shoot at bolt throwers. The Bolt Fiends were really good. I was able to crumble that right flank with the support of them with their shield breaking. They took a lot of damage. The Sisters of Singing Doom, obviously, with their terror, was able to, anything besides Storm Vermin's going to just rout pretty quickly. The Cold One Knights, you saw how I was patient with them. I waited till my army had already engaged. Then I sent them around the back. And, yeah, I mean, the Black Orc Corsairs are really good at chewing through Clan Rats. The Spear units, are your Shock Absorber. And, yeah, Lokir, if you're going to go a ground infantry build, Lokir's always a strong pick, guys. He's not going to die. I actually think he's more powerful on foot than he is on his Black Dragon. Like, I'm always underwhelmed with the Black Dragon for some reason. I never feel like I'm getting value, but when I put him on foot, it always works. So, anyways, guys, for my opponent, Adam, good game. I do like the build. This is a powerful ranged build, but yeah, this build right here is the counter to a Skaven ranged. So this might work, versus a lot of like cavalry or a lot of monsters like dragons and stuff like that. But against an infantry, focused, kind of faction like the Dark Elves, I don't know if it'd be the right pick. So, all right, guys, I hope that helps you fighting the Skaven. This is Atticus, and I will see you next time. All right, bye bye now.